Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of I Know Dope People with me, myself, and I, Queen Aishah. Thank you so much for joining us. We have an awesome show lined up today. I have two of my fashion folks, my fashion people, Maisie Dunbar and Sharonda Irving. Before we get started, we're going to have a few quick Queen Aishah quickies. Just some things I want to bring to your attention in case you didn't know. Some of you may know who I am. Some of you may not. Some of you know me as a comedian. Some of you like, who is she? How are we supposed to know her? Let me tell you, I am Queen Aishah, the host of I Know Dope People and so many other things. I'm a comedian, producer, actress, SAG-AFTRA Union. And most importantly, I am Donald and Jerry's first baby girl. Hence the name Aishah, first, love, and prosperous. So here's the thing. I'm going to share a story with you. So y'all know me as a comedian, but I actually started out at the ripe age of around 10-ish as a singer. Don't do it. Yes, I was a singer, the lead singer of the group. We never had a name. It was me, my sister Razia and Masada, and my brother Malik was the manager. My other two brothers, Andrew and Kyle, they were older. They probably was figuring, what is they doing? Anyway, we performed. We were busy and booked in our mother's living room every time she had company. Or if it was a holiday or we just felt like we wanted to sing. We would perform songs by Donna Summer's Bad Girl. We would perform Diana Ross, I'm Coming Out. We had it going on. And then I decided to leave the group when New Edition came out because I wanted to be the original Candy Girl, okay? I wanted some of Ralph Tresvant's Popcorn Love. He broke up with me and I was like, oh my God, is this the end? Mr. Telephone Man, is something wrong with my line? Because when I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time. I'm the original Candy Girl. Ralph Tresvant is my boyfriend in my head forever, even though he married, no disrespect to Mrs. Tresvant, but we gonna share him, okay? Because it's in my head where all things are real. So I have a few things that you can learn about me. You can always go to my YouTube channel if you're not checking it out there. It's Queen Aishah, and Aishah's Aishah. You'll also see it down here in the tickler. I also have a book out, Dating After Marriage Chronicles. I'm trying to see where I got it in the screen. I co-authored this book with a friend of mine, Ebony Caldwell, so you can pick that up on Amazon. And I have other great things going on around the country. I'm in the Atlanta, Georgia area, but around the country, you can check me out in the Houston, Texas area on October 3rd. I'll be hosting the first annual Pretty in Pink Breast Cancer Awareness Brunch with my awesome girlfriend, Evelyn Clark. So you can get your tickets at achangeyou.com. And I start my once a month comedy show in the Norcross, Georgia area at Zona's Caribbean Restaurant, Bar, and Grill. You know they're Caribbean because they got to have like 15 names. Caribbean Restaurant, Bar, and Grill. That's going to be awesome. It's the third Sunday of every month. And the first show we have Mario Torre and Alicia Cooley. They are awesome comedians, so I'll be putting up more information so you can get your tickets. Now, that's enough about what I got going on. We're going to get this show started and popping. As I told you, I have two of my awesome friends here, and we're going to talk about Nigeria. We're going to get into that. You're probably like, what about Nigeria? We're going to talk about Nigeria. We're going to talk about beauty and image, which is so very important. My first person, my first guest, my first dope guest that's coming on is my home girl, Miss Maisie Dunbar. We've been knowing each other for about 27 years. Yeah. We actually met in a salon I used to go to in Silver Spring, Maryland. I know I'm in Georgia and Maryland. I'm international, interstate. Exactly. Okay, just keep up. Okay. We've been knowing each other for 27 years. She started out, well, she was doing what she was doing already before we met. But when I met Maisie actually had a desk that they used, like when you would watch Little House on the Prairie, you know, when you open it up, like in 5th grade, you open it up, and she had her nail polish or her nail file in there. She was classy. I was like, she tall. She knows she's too tall for this damn desk, but she's really well, because that's the Liberian queen in her. Okay? So Maisie Dunbar, when I tell you, like, Maisie is connected, partnered with everybody. I asked Maisie to come on the show. I said, Maisie, what part of the world will you be in on October 8th? Because she is a world traveler. I don't know if she walked there, fly there, swim there, whatever it takes, Maisie is there. Okay, she has, oh my God, Maisie has been covered in so many magazines for her expertise in makeup In Nails, O Magazine, In Style Magazine, Essence. I can go on and on and on. Maisie. Oh, also we cannot forget Maisie she's been assisted Sister Magazine, Nail Pro, and actually I met a female here that did my bomb facial. I didn't even know I had a freckle on my nose until I had a facial. I was like, oh, I got a freckle. Okay, that's different. I didn't know that. It took me 50 years to find out. Was not right for that long. Maisie is always working on something and always educating, which is wonderful and beautiful. I think that is so important that we are constantly empowering. Maisie has a book out called Faith, Fun, and Finance: 3 Keys to Business Success. You can purchase that on her website, MaisieDunbar.com. She also has an inspirational deck of cards. It says, Mama used to say, family, faith, fear. And she has here, Mommy, so I guess how she would say it, Mommy, words to live by, great daily inspirational quotes by Maisie Dunbar. Maisie got one child. I want to know. I ain't taking nothing away from the one child people, but I think she stole some of these quotes. But I'm just saying because. Anyway, we have Maisie Dunbar joining us today. Maisie, thank you for saying yes. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Look at her pretty white teeth. I like them glasses, girl.
You know, because I didn't know what you was coming with. You and Sharonda, y'all the fashionistas. I was like, I'm going to have to get it together. Y'all need to know what I look like at the bottom. Y'all just need to know up here.
Yes.
I'm good.
Take it from the top.
Is good. Okay? I bathed. Yes. I did bathe. So, get them teeth. Yes, Maisie Dunbar, welcome to I Know Dope People, because you're one of my dope people.
I know. I love the name because, I mean, you got to get a T-shirt. I know. And you got to trademark that. You got to trademark that.
Done.
Yes.
So tell people about Maisie Dunbar and what they can expect from you, how they can reach you, what you got going on.
Girl, what do I have going on? What don't I have going on? Well, as Queen Aishah stated, my name is Maisie Dunbar. I am the president and founder of the global award-winning Maisie Dunbar Beauty Brands, featuring Bluffer Joe Cosmetics. There's 2 pillars to my business. So our beauty house consists of the Bluffer Joe, which is our cosmetic brand. And Bluffer Joe is a term in Liberia. We refer to a person that is always well-dressed, possesses confidence. We'll call them a Bluffer Joe. So I have my cosmetic brand, which is an e-commerce store. And we also have a studio here in Germantown, Maryland. And then the other pillar to my business is my entrepreneurship training, as well as philanthropic work that I do. I'm also a Goodwill, United Nations Goodwill Ambassador. So with the other pillar of my business, I work with organizations teaching the youth and single women and young women on the continent how to get their own businesses, how to grow their own businesses. I'm also on the board of FebWeb Liberia, which is an organization that is a part of ECOWAS, and ECOWAS is is an organization that consists of 16 West African countries. Well, we're not here talking about government, but just to give you guys a hint about it, you can look it up online yourself. But I'm also on FebWeb Liberia, and that other part of my business, I'm very committed to helping those young girls so they can see that people that look like them are doing great things. People that look like them are doing things enough to encourage them to want to be better and do better. Because when I was growing up on the continent, people that came to us did not look like us. And I just want people to know, and them people ain't coming no more. So we have to be responsible to help our people. So yeah, girl, that's what I do. As Queen Aishah said, I am a celebrity manicurist as well as makeup artist, but I'm pivoting from behind the scenes as much, Queen Aishah. I want to really push my brand. So you can go to blufferjoe.com. We're definitely, our brand is more of a humanized brand. So what does that mean when it's a humanized brand? I get into that later.
All these SAT words on a Saturday morning.
Girl, I'm trying to wake them up. Where's Soul Tree? The hippest tree in America.
Yes, honey. She African for real. She gonna let you know what she doing and how you can get it.
Yes, exactly. So, because the thing about it is, Aisha, there's so many brands out here. So it's the people are like, okay, how do I pick this brand? When I said we're a
Right.
humanized brand, meaning we have the human element in our brand. You know, when you buy something from us, it's not a one and done. We are a community. And when you buy a lipstick, we support communities back home. I've been doing that way before the lights came on. So that's what, thank you, girl. That's what
My bluffer Joe is sure I'm Shirley when I wear this.
you look so beautiful. And you're easy. You're totally a bluffer Joe all day, every day. Even without makeup, you're a bluffer Joe. You represent. You
Bluff,
show
bluff.
up. You show up and you represent. But you know what I do now, Queen Aishah? I was just at an event at the UN Global Business Summit. And you know, everybody at these events, the first thing they ask you at a business event is, what do you do? What do you do? So what I started doing is when people ask me, what do you do? I say, guess. So I started doing that to check myself to make sure I'm representing what I do.
I know
And,
that's right.
and every single time it's nailed on the head. It's either a fashion designer, a makeup artist. Every single time it's been nailed on the head. So I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. No one has ever said, oh, you may be you're working oil and gas. It's never that. It's either it's never that. Never that.
Yes,
So
awesome, awesome. Well, Maisie, thank you so much for joining us today.
yes.
And my next I know dope people is a home girl, literally a home girl. She is from the state of New Jersey, like myself. Keep up. Y'all done heard me say Atlanta. Y'all done heard me say DC. Now I'm talking about Jersey. I am international, interstatable. Okay. I got stamps and toll passes throughout the
Okay.
universe. Okay. I know my toll off the exit, the turnpike. All right. Anyway, Sharonda Irving is she is the founder and creator of Sharonda Irving Consulting. As I said, she is a Jersey girl. She went to school with my sister Razia and Scott. Scott was kind of like the bougie soul, the bougie side. I went to EL, but for a short, not the EL, but I went to EL for a short time. The rest of my time I was spent in parochial school. Anyway, she has 20 plus years of master level education. She is a graduate of Howard University. She takes and combines all of her knowledge, skills, and training and education in the school system, and she puts it into her brand for consulting. What I love about Sharonda is she specializes in women between the ages of 40 and 50. That's when we're kind of going through the change. You sweating, you hot, you cold. You're not sure if you really want to stay in a bra or not. And she's going to help you get your garments. Because it's not just about the outfit, the hair, and the makeup. It's really about the undergarments too. Because if you don't know, PSA, when you raise your breast, you lift your self-esteem. Do you understand? Because your nipples ain't always supposed to be touching your navel unless you're in the house. So Sharonda is a licensed makeup artist, nail technologist. Is it nail technologist? Is that a word? Nail technician. She got degrees and other degrees and expertise situations going on. I want to bring Sharonda to the camera, pretty girl rock. Sharonda Irving, what's up, pretty mama?
Hey,
First of all, my personal stylist. She done did celebrities, political figures, industry, film industry people, and a comedian.
Yes.
She done helped me put on my shoes, my bra, and my drop. Y'all seen a Funny and Stilettos event? Sharonda was in the back like, do this. Your stomach on this side need to be even with the stomach on that side. And lift and shake and go on, do it like this. Yes, honey, she gets you right. What's up, Sharonda? Welcome. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Oh my goodness. No, thank you for having me. First of all, only you, my love, Aisha, will have me up this early with a full face of makeup on.
Okay.
So, only you and I don't know, my man, maybe. I would like to thank you though for having me, because from day one, you've always been like a supporter without a whole lot of questions. And I truly appreciate you and your sister for that. That's a definite, like, y'all always have had the entrepreneurial spirit and support other women in business without question. And so I just want to give you your flowers for that, because you've been doing that and supporting Black women owned businesses since before it was a hashtag.
How about
So,
that? Thank you.
with that though, you've been knowing me since the original name of my company, which is Bloom Image Consulting. And then I just transitioned it because now you are your brand. So it's Sharonda Irving, Image Consultant. And I am one of the people who escaped the plantation. I was in education for close to 20 years. And after the first year of the pandemic, I decided it was time to pass the torch on to people who still had the level of enthusiasm and energy to keep going. I was an instructional. I started off in nails just like Maisie. So I started off as a nail tech. I was doing nails and then also educating. I continued my love of fashion on one side while I continued to be an educator. And then I got the opportunity and to step out on faith and a little bit of support from my other half, and just went on ahead and decided to go full steam ahead. And so with that, I am continuing my business of providing support for I do style coaching, and really is still about education to women who are 40 and over. And I say to help them to amplify their presence, because a lot of times when we are not confident in the way that we look, and we don't have what I call a style mindset, when we enter into rooms, we tend to shrink. And so I want women to be prepared to be amplified in whatever room it is that they're going to be in, whether it is professionally or personally. I want them to not shrink when they're in the room. And especially when it comes to because you don't really look the way you want to. One of my clients said that for the first time in a long time, it was like her inside and her outside met, and literally meeting each other in the mirror. And I want women to be able to have that experience, because one of the things that we kind of get upset about, and we try to we don't want to accept the fact that the human brain research tells us that you start to form opinions on people within the first couple seconds that you see them. And it sucks. And hopefully, through education and hopefully through a little bit more of an awareness, you can start to sort of retrain what your brain thinks when you meet people. But I want my clients, my sisters, my friends to be able to maximize every moment that they have when they enter into a room before they even start to speak. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So I want your first impression to be as impactful as it possibly can be. So that's what I do. That's why I do it. And, I currently am in the process of, I work with private clients. I also work with organizations to provide professional development. After this, I'm going to be going to teach a class with the Junior League, which is going to be fun and exciting. And I'm also in the process of developing a digital course. So I'm really, really excited about that, because that will give an opportunity for me to be able to share some of this, some of these strategies, some of these practices with people who may not necessarily be able to work with me one-on-one. And one of the biggest things that I'm really proud of as part of what I'm doing is I do what I call teaching women about style mindset, because I can't really help women to make the kinds of changes that they want to see if they don't change the way that they're thinking about themselves and the way that they're thinking about what they see. And so my process is not just about let me tell you what to put on, but let me bring you to an awareness about how what you think about yourself impacts what you're wearing and how comfortable you are and how powerful you really are showing up. I want women to be able to say, like some of my clients say to me, I like the way that I'm showing up when I
powerful.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we have some, I had to put these on for you, Sharonda, because we didn't know how you was coming.
Yes. Rose colored glass.
Let me explain something to y'all. So if y'all, this is sidebar, but very important right now. If you all are looking for, like I'm working on my new website, right? And I've been in my head because I'm a creative person, so I stay up in here. Like I need going to you and Maisie's website, and their websites are their names: MaisieDunbar.com, SharondaIrving.com. Their websites flow, and it's so much great information about them, who they are as individuals, who they are as business women, and what their offering is. And it helps you to see like, oh, it ain't got to be busy. It ain't got to be a lot, But all the information that's there is useful information. It gives you what you need, and it inspires you to get your website game together. Okay. So thank you, ladies. And these are women that I've been knowing for years, and I got so giddy I was just smiling so hard, learning so much about you all that I thought I knew. I was like, because Sharonda, I remember you did something just talking about a belt. Just talking about a belt, how stripes, just different things can change your whole outlook, change your whole outfit. But I say it over and over, and I joke about it, but I'm really serious. An undergarment will get your life right. No, for real. Because an undergarment, Maisie, we had this whole conversation. She was upset because she couldn't get her bras from where she used to get them, and they start sliding. You know how the straps do. So we're going to get into all of that. So, ladies, thank you so much for coming and sharing what you do and your contribution to the world to make us better people and keep our stomachs looking flat.
And you know, Aishah, that's still my two biggest things that I'm always preaching: undergarments and a belt. You will be so surprised by how many people don't own a belt.
Let me tell you something. I got this belt from Maisie.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got this belt from Maisie. So Jesus Christ. I paid $1,000 for the belt.
She lying.
So funny. You know how you have so much stuff.
She lying.
You know how you have so much stuff, right? And you don't wear it. Then I looked at this belt. It's a nice belt. And I was like, you paid $1,000 for this belt.
You better wear that belt, baby.
I was like, Maisie, I want this belt, but I need you to put me on a payment layaway now. So the way they doing Afterpay now, Maisie been had that set up. She African. You look, okay, you can take the belt now, but you have to put something down today, my sister. Okay? And then she had a staff, they start calling you to remind you if you get behind in your payment. So
listen, because you got to know your people and you got to be able to still make options and pathways for your people.
That's right. Yeah, but y'all know how to talk. You be like, well, this is what you need. Blah, 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 blah. And here's the thing, Sharonda, you ain't got to be in the same state with either of them. You need consultation. Send me some pictures of what you're looking for. Where you trying to go? I'm gonna help you. And this is my PayPal.
Right.
Because it's important that we really support one another. It's fine for us to ask for advice, but there's a thin line between advice and this my business, yo. And you guys say it just like this my business, yo.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important that we teach one another. Those are our teachable moments.
Yes.
So I'm gonna change my glasses now so I can see.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because I have had friends, I'll be like, okay, this is gonna be your last piece of advice. Because you know
be for real. So think about as a comedian what I go through. Tell me a joke. You owe me some money, okay?
That's a joke.
A joke?
Huh?
People say, tell me a joke.
They be like, tell me a joke. They be like, can you do my event for a discount? Can you do it for free? Because see, this is how I'm gonna give y'all an insight. As a comedian, everybody thinks that they're funny. Everybody thinks that it's easy. Everybody thinks that you don't have to prepare, which some I can flow naturally, right? But from the time I'm booked, you book me, I'm already in the process of preparing for your event. Yes. My outfit, my hair, my lineup, what I'm going to talk about, and people don't. Your
undergarments. Don't forget your undergarments.
Your undergarments. That's right. That your undergarments, your nail polish, your Bluffer Joe lipstick, all of that. Your shot, all of that. Your sleep.
It's funny because when I came, when I helped you with when I worked for you for the Funny and Stiletto show, that was the moment that I was like, I stood back and you were, and I have a picture of you because you were in your office or in the office that they had for you. Nobody was talking to you. You were in full ass boss mode. Can we curse? Can we curse?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Full ass boss mode, and like you said, I was like, look at my Aishah. Girl, you had your readers on, honey. You were looking at your contracts and your things, and I was like, you know what?
But people don't understand that. Like Aishah, I stopped doing massages, right? Before I closed the spa, I kind of set back from it. So one of my family members, they wanted me to do their grandmother's massage. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I still was giving them a discount. But what's insulting to me is when somebody's thinks that they should pay you. They're gonna tell you what they think they should pay. First of all, you're
Like
trying
they
to
doing
take
you
my
a favor.
right. You're trying to take my ass out of retirement. I'm
like
doing
Girl
it because
Scouts and I'm selling lemonade. What the hell is going on? I'm grown.
yeah, I'm like, first of all, my license is expensive. Second of all, I maintain all my licenses in the U.S. I'm a master esthetician, a manicurist, a massage therapist. I'm maintaining all these licenses in the U.S. So you're asking me to get my stuff set up because, like you said, the work starts when they book you. The work starts when you book me because I have to think about how I'm going to position my table in your house. I have to carry my table to your house. I have to break it down. The work doesn't start when I show up to do that massage. Hell no. It starts an hour or so before then.
So you don't know what we turned down for this one. Oh, I'm booked that day, so I'm not available. Then you're going to come with some nonsense. We're not doing that.
So it's just to mention the thing that I've learned too, especially is just you're paying for my expertise.
Yes.
Like you could have kind of got like the grandkids to rub her back. Yes. But you came to a professional who is bringing a level of expertise. So like, not to mention any names, and I'm so ashamed, but a certain person was on CNN and was CNBC saying, you have to pay me for my expertise and my equity and what I bring, not just the actual physical product that I deliver, but you're paying for the knowledge base and you're paying for certification. You're paying for the fact that I am bringing professionalism and an expert level of service. And so, yeah.
And I think that I think as a community, we have to get better at that. And unfortunately, I believe that it happens a lot in our communities. And the Black and brown people like, oh, you do that? That ain't nothing. No. Yes, it is something. You know what I'm saying? This is because it's anything you do, whether it's comedy, singing, makeup, nails, it's a discipline.
Yeah.
I have disciplined myself. I have studied these types of things, but it's about people having respect. And we have to teach people how to treat us.
Yeah.
So I think that's very, very, very important. So what we want to talk about, one of the things we want to talk about today, and I thought that you all would be two great guests, is Nigeria, the country of Nigeria in West Africa. They actually, a month ago, they announced it, and it went into effect a week ago, which was their 60th anniversary that they gained their independence. Yes. And they decided that they will, all of the advertisement, acting, models, voiceover artists will all be natives of Nigeria. Now, it kind of came in the news and kind of got breezed over. When I was doing my research, we were right on time because I was like, okay, this actually took effect a week ago. Yeah. So we want to speak to that. But before we speak to that, I just want to know, because my sister been doing our ancestry, and I found out on my mother and father's side that we Igbo are more than 20%. So I wonder if I went over there to do some work, if I'm considered a foreigner.
Yes.
Oh my God. Please. Let me tell you what Nigeria said real quick. Let me explain to y'all what Nigeria said. They was like, we are good. We don't need you. It's okay.
Well, we don't need you.
We appreciate your talent over there, wherever you are. But here, we got enough people. We're going to make it happen. Yes. We're going to be all right.
But the thing about it is, Aisha, I just think for us as Black people, talent is innate in us. All the things that people are doing now came from the Black culture. So going back to the roots of Africa, you got kids like walking the street and doing things. Look, I can tell you a picture of this man. I was like literally in the car, and they're like cutting hair with a razor blade, not clippers. So where you think the clippers got developed from? Well, look, African women been walking with stuff on their head for years. Talk about balancing.
Yes.
You want to talk about yoga? That's yoga right there. You got a child on your back. You got, you went to Mali. You saw it.
Yes. And even here's the thing, that whole twerking thing, to me, is such an insult. You know what I'm saying? The twerking is such an insult because really, if you study, that's a whole nother thing, getting into African dance and all that. When you watch African and Caribbean people dance, even when they dance on each other, it's never a sexual thing. It's a whole art and movement to it. So that twerking, we've been twerking. Okay.
Yes.
We've been twerking before slavery, after. So they're like, oh, we twerking. This person didn't know twerking been there. Matter of fact, we don't even twerk. All we do is exist. We walk and the booty move. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. And it moved by itself.
It just do what it do.
Just do
That's
what
what I
it
told you.
do.
I ain't gotta walk with my butt sticking out. I ain't gotta do nothing with my hips. All I gotta do is exist, move, and be.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Look, God did it. Yes, he did.
He did that. She did that. The universe did that.
You
Yes.
know?
So, Maisie, with you working, you are always in Nigeria and just
Yes.
on the continent.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this news and the new policy with Nigeria?
To be honest with you, I love it because on the continent, people of non-color, they think that they go to the continent and they still carry that mentality, like Sharonda was saying about her clients. She worked with that mindset. These people go with the mindset of we still need to, they got that. They just don't want to have that favor, but we put them in check really quickly there, because one great thing about being in Africa that I love is when you land, you look left and you look right, everybody looks like you. It's something about that feeling that everyone looks like, as jacked up as some of the situations can be there, from, healthcare to, the internet or whatever. You deal with those things, and the fact that Nigeria made that move to do what they're doing, I love it. And I mean, they're serious. The presidents on the continent now, they're making some serious drastic moves. Like the president of Rwanda, he made a decision: do not send used clothes to his country. He sends it back. What he did was he challenged the local tailors and the local designers to start. You can make a dress for $1,000 for Queen Aishah, but you're going to make a shirt for $2 for the average person, the market woman.
To be able to
The
afford
market women are the people that drives the economy on the continent. Nigeria has the largest economy on the continent. So for them to make that move, everybody looks to Nigeria. And my entire team is in Nigeria.
Okay.
My entire team, from my webmaster, all of them, they're all Nigerians. So, and you guys are literally talented. And the thing about it is also, Aisha, because people are coming in and taking some of these jobs, foreign nationals, what happens to the locals? Sometimes they can't even get a job. Like my webmaster, he's actually a engineer. But because he couldn't get a job, he's self-taught. He's a self-taught webmaster. His brother is a psychologist. He couldn't get a job. He started doing graphic design. So you have these foreign nationals.
We've been pivoting.
Yeah.
That was a new word during the pandemic. Pivot. Black people, we are descendants of the pivot. When you look up pivot, you see black and brown people. Not taking up for nobody else, but we used to, because we know how to, when we came out of slavery, we was pivoting because we had to survive. We had to provide for our families. That's why, if you don't know your history, you come from entrepreneurs. If you don't, you just have to do the research. Black people are entrepreneurs. It's innately in our DNA, because when we were free, we had to make a way to survive for ourselves, for our family. So pivot, entrepreneurship, look it up. We there.
That's our names right there. I think it's a great move for Nigeria. And I don't know if you noticed with that interview that Shegun did, he was laughing like, why is this something that is, why is this strange to y'all?
Yeah. And then Sharonda, we were talking about it also when one of the statements were that they're banning I think they said white actors. So it wasn't just foreign. Someone Caucasian took it to them. They're banning white actors. What was your take on that?
Well, I think I think it's one of those things that we shouldn't be surprised, because there's always the move to center themselves. So like, okay, well, maybe, all right, you have to be Nigerian, but what about us white Nigerians? Like, there's always the move to center themselves. And I think that, we as Americans have to also retrain our own thinking, not to
that's right,
censor them, because we're so inundated by that kind of thinking. We are definitely products of colonialism as well. But I just kind of thought, like, what I thought about was, you know, my other business is in construction and development. So, you know, we have been kind of hearing a lot of stuff about how China is doing a lot of business and development on the continent. And we know that this is like another wave of how to colonize and how to take over and further subdivide the continent and all those imperialistic moves. And so I just feel like that was like a bold move to try to not just to protect the integrity, the image, the base of the country. Like, we want to continue to keep the same face, the base of who our country is, in the midst of encroaching neo-colonialism that's happening through China. And so I just was kind of like, I think it's a bomb move. I think that, you know, this idea that, you know, the audacity of them to include white people, like, I think that in the United States and in westernized countries, we can't fathom a lack of white presence. And so, you know, it's like, hey, I feel like this is such a refreshing move that is
powerful.
It's very powerful. And I think it should send a reverberating message to Black people that we can take ownership over our image, and we can take ownership over our spaces. Like, when we have our movies and when we have our media, when we have our companies, like, it's okay to have representation of your own.
That's right. And like Maisie said earlier, it's nothing like if you've never been to the continent, but if you've been to the Caribbean, places like Jamaica, and things, when it's nothing like seeing your own people working, owning businesses. I mean, vendors, but I'm talking about restaurants, hotels. It is nothing like that. It is so empowering to myself. It's empowering to just be able to pour into them, into the economy. I love looking and seeing me, you know, and image, the big thing about this is image. You know, it's important for us to see ourselves. And Nigeria basically said, not on my watch. These young people are coming out young and old. We need to see ourselves. They did the doll test years ago. Y'all know the doll test years ago. They you can go on YouTube and you know, Google it and look it up. This is what I know. I was born in the nation of Islam, born into Islam. The nation of Islam. First school I went to was Black. The first doll baby I had was Black, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was a Muslim doll, meaning her hair was covered and all of that. Okay, I had the Barbie dollhouse, but I started thinking back. And honestly, I ain't trying to be funny. I don't even remember if I had a Barbie and Ken doll. I remember the house, but I said, well, maybe my parents just wanted me to know opulence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the furniture, I remember the amenities, I remember the car, but I do not remember the doll. You know, my sister was telling me one time she got a white doll, and her mother told her that she had to. My mother told her she had to paint the doll baby face. They get to see them more than anything. We need to see us. That is so very imperative. And the thing about it is, this is the other thing that we can't knock. So in my research, they said that Nigeria, their Nollywood, Nigeria's Hollywood is the second largest, fastest growing, all of that in movie industry. It is $1 billion business, multi-billion-dollar business with a B.
Yeah. Even when I went through an export program with the state of Maryland, and I had to create an export plan for exporting into Nigeria. So,
go ahead, y'all.
I did my.
Y'all be finding it. I'll be like, where that? Who knew that? But go ahead.
But I did my ass backwards. You remember when I first went up there and I was grinding. So when COVID hit, I was literally supposed to leave. You know, this is why when God put his hands on your life, you just got to sit. I was supposed to leave for Nigeria March the 4th, right? And the country shut down March the 27th. I was supposed to leave March 8th. March 4th, I had a medical emergency that shut me down completely. And I really feel it was God's way of keeping my behind here, because it took a whole year for me to really sit, And during that time, I was just taking these webinars. I mean, I was just on one webinar. So somehow or another, Aisha, to answer your point, my name got in that database. So they reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in participating for U.S. commercial services. I was like, yeah, I need to do this. When I go back to do this, I don't want to do it the way I did it. But the funny thing about it is, like, literally every single contact that the State Department have in that database are the people that I met on my own. The only difference is that changes the conversation. Now my move in Nigeria, I have the State Department stamped on everything that I do if I get them involved. For example, if I do an event, you get your invitation. The invitation is not coming from Maisie no more. It's going to come from the State Department, but it's going to tell you it's a Bluff of Joe event. We all know Nigerians. They like big things now. They'll say, hey, how you going?
Bluff of Joe. Oh, Bluff of Joe. Hey, the invitation came from the State Department. This is a t-shirt. We are going. Put on your headpiece. Let's go.
Let's go now. Let's go now.
We are going. It is a big thing.
Yes. So that kind of helps, because like literally when I talked to the agent, the in-house agent in Nigeria, he was like, well, you got everybody that I could possibly introduce you to. So I was like, I know, but it's just a different move now. So anyway, during my research, when I was going through the export program, because you literally had to develop an export plan that the state of Maryland had to accept in order for you to finish the program. Otherwise, you wouldn't graduate from the program. So when I went to trade.gov, I mean, the data for the entertainment industry in Nigeria, it was mind-blowing. So if we as consumers have that kind of access, imagine them, what they got. You know what I'm saying? So they see that light. They see the light in that country. They see it. And they have strategized to say, okay, and you know how they do, they start going a little bit, and then they start extracting. They were like, hell no, damn it. No, we got talent right here. Right. Nigeria, exactly. We're going to start a show, Nigeria Got Talent.
Right. Right. And the thing about it is we really should not be surprised about Nigeria, because Nigerians have always been bold people. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking to a Nigerian, no offense to any other country on a continent. I do hope y'all know that it's a continent that the U.S. can fit in several times, but that's another class. Anyway, Nigeria, you talk to a Nigerian, most Africans are very direct anyway, but a Nigerian, they're going to just let you know. So they straight up, there's like, we good. We don't need no disrespect to y'all, but we have enough talent here. We're taking care of our own. And I think that is something that is very important for our country and our people and community. Take care of home first.
Yes,
so they don't have to go outside. They don't have to beg for anything. They're going to use their talents. They're going to teach them. You are talented. You use what you have. You use your gifts. Your innate God-given gifts that you use. Yes. Sharonda, what would you add to that as far as when you spoke and you said Nigeria and the talent that they have, and it being a multi-billion. I didn't even use the saying billion. I got to get used to it. I couldn't put it together.
Well, first of all, I was like,
and that's not in Naira, that's US dollars. Right. Billion in Naira ain't much.
Right.
That's USD.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's so what my original thought was, because I thought I know that Bollywood was a huge market as well. I thought that Bollywood was second, but that was interesting to learn when I read that Bollywood was the second largest. So first of all, that's a pause right then and there. But I think a couple things kind of flow through my brain. I think about the fact, like how Jay-Z says, like, and everybody has said it, right? But he put it in his rhyme. So, just kind of like, we don't see our own genius and greatness. Everybody is capitalizing off of doing what we do innately, but we don't even see it, right? Like we're not capitalizing off of our own stuff because we don't see it, because we are victims of the gaslighting, right? Like we're being made to feel like our shit is not great while somebody rips us off. So, and then the other thing that I think about is like the brain. I think that in the interview, he was talking about like the brain drain, or maybe I just kind of connected the two, but the brain drain and the level of resource and talent that leaves and that would leave because they were not investing in reinvigorating the opportunities for the young people. And I think about, even there was an article, I think in the New York Times, and talking about the US major cities and the level of brain drain that happens. And like places like DC, and our Black and brown kids, when they go off to school, do they come back and do they have the opportunity to sow back into the community here in DC? Or in the other cities? That's why, like, I'm, in Newark, like our kids being able to go away to school and then come back and then pour back into the Newark in a way that benefits native Newark residents and
the local economy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so, like, I kind of look at that. And one of the things I will say is, like, I think that for whatever opinions you may have, one of the things I like about our mayor is that she really did put investment and funding behind the creative economy. And so that gives an opportunity for young people and old people, but young people who are creatives and who are looking for avenues to make their creativity work for them and monetize and all those kinds of things. There's the resources in the city to do that. And I think that that's one of the benefits of continuing to have an American woman, Washington D.C. native as the mayor. So I think there's so many like connections that we can, there's so many lessons that we can take from it, and not allow the non-Nigerians to gaslight them and us into thinking that it's the wrong move.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with collaborating. I believe that they are very, very for real and for serious about using natives. Yes. But I also believe that they will allow, and they are open to opportunity, because one thing he did say is we're still talking about it. It's still things that are being discussed. But my thing is, here in this country, like the white actors can say they're banning white actors, but we have in the entertainment industry here where you'll talk for ages and ages. You've always heard about the struggle of Black actors. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So, but we don't say that. If we say that, then someone is offended because of entitlement. Because I guess when you feel like you've been doing it so long individually, when you feel like you've been doing it so long and you have always been the chosen one, even when you're playing a Black character, and if something you feel like is taken from you because you feel like you're owed something, then you're offended. But no one ever speaks up and says about the Black actors and what our struggles are. And we aren't chosen for certain roles that were written and about Black people. So that's kind of bold. You know what I'm saying? That you're like, no, it's not about you. Yeah. This is what they choose to do with their country. And I think this is a great statement. Yeah. It's a great lead. But Maisie, you were saying that they did this in South Africa some years ago.
Yeah, they did this a long time. Yes, a few years ago, they did that in South Africa as well. Because the thing is, also in South Africa, what they've also done is they can collaborate. But the lead, all the stakeholders, the decision makers have to be, who they are. Right. But others can come in. And I'm pretty sure with Nigeria, because Nigeria ain't gonna turn down nothing but that collar. I'm pretty sure that with Nigerian, they're gonna make sure that talents are first, but they're gonna collaborate. You're gonna come through there
right after they do them, right?
Yes,
they're gonna take you home first.
Yes,
representation. It's the representation. It's what the children grow up seeing and believing, and buying into, and what is it that you what are the seeds that you're sowing?
And let me tell y'all something. Nigeria, and as far as the movie industry, I'm gonna say they deserve every penny, because let me tell you something. If y'all ain't never seen a Nigerian movie, when you used to be able to go to a store on the street, an African store, and you pick up your $3 Nigerian movie that jump all over the place, you can't even follow the story because the editing is horrible. We're gonna say, when I tell you they went from that to Netflix. Yes. Do you understand? My mother, I think once a week she watch a Nigerian movie, and she be like, it depends on what it is. She be like, some of this stuff is just damn ridiculous.
It's not just like Miss Sharonda.
Y'all know my mother. She be like, this is just I'm trying to follow this story. This woman, and this is just the craziest thing, Aisha. Let me text you the name of this movie and look at it.
Don't let her know. Don't let her know. Find out who the people is, because she's gonna give them some feedback.
Okay. Because my mother gonna feed. She gonna feed sister feedback. Now she can only see when she want to see, but she can see when you out of order. And I don't understand. Let me tell you, she watched. If you owe it to yourself to watch a Nigerian movie, I don't care if you watch it on Netflix or you got one of them old ones you paid for $3, wherever you got it.
Then the series is like part 1, part 2, I used to be like, can this thing?
Oh my God! And then some of that stuff be some of them stories you be like, and it be funny stuff. But I think
it's the true story. A lot.
No, it be for real.
It's their life. It's their life. They write about their life.
You can watch it. You know, you can watch it on the African channel too. I used to watch the soap operas.
Okay, I didn't even know that, because some of the movies is like a soap opera.
Yeah, they have the African channel has the soap operas.
Wow.
And I would stay up late and watch I used to have to catch my soaps every night.
And you talking about some funny stories. And like, it was one where the father died, and then they had the 3 daughters and the uncle. They were scheming and scamming everywhere. Universal.
That's how
it's Universal. And oh my God, I'm telling you, they got some movies out there. So if y'all have never seen a Nigerian movie, y'all got to check it out. But if y'all got Netflix and chill, there are plenty on there, constantly growing on there.
Yes. I think that it's important to note though that, like, so personally, my personal I won't even say guilty pleasure. Like, I love like B-level movies and like I call it bad black theater, right? So I can watch movies like that, thoroughly entertained, right? But if you gonna watch, if that's not your genre, if that's not your shit, when you watch an African film, you got to go ahead and suspend some of your privilege and prejudice over. Like, it's not gonna be glitzy and like it's not gonna be, $1 million, a $10 million budgeted movie. So just follow the storyline and just stick with it. Don't get distracted by the fuzziness or like.
But they've come a long way. Yep. And I think
they have come a long way.
Because they were doing it in Nigeria. They started filming in Brooklyn. Like when I read some of it years ago, I'm telling y'all,
I need to catch a modern one. I see them all the time though on Netflix.
Yeah,
girl, that's my mother thing, honey. I think last night before she said, I'm going to watch this movie before I fall asleep. I've been trying to follow it. What'd you say, Sharonda?
It's always like antics and somebody getting married. I always catch somebody getting married and something crazy happening either in the engagement or in the marriage.
Right. Because that's how it is there.
They had one. It was a movie, and the sister came from South Africa to the wedding. I'm not sure what country. And then she ended up sleeping. Did she sleep with the brother-in-law that was about to get married? I was like, it was a hot, and they be so dignified and classy with it. Like, did you just? Let me tell you, and they started wanting mommy. I'm like, yes, mommy, you're getting that award. But also, I think Nigeria is getting so much attention because we have all the Afro beats artists and all. Like when they performed on, I don't know if it was the Grammys or what award show a couple of months ago, they were killing it. They were performing and take the BET Awards. I think they were getting all of the awards. And I saw comedian Michael Blackson, who's from Ghana, and he is Sagittarius like me the day before. Anyway, I texted him when I saw him in the audience. I was like, it's popular to be African now. Isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is.
He said, I know. He said, I know, right?
It's about time. Look, I mean, but
Bring rises to the top, honey.
But I think that's like one of those things that, things are cyclical sometimes. Like we had that same kind of movement in the 60s and 70s. And
that's true.
because of because of the struggles and because our struggle for full equality and equity in this country is not a linear path. We kind of took a couple steps back, but we've always, I think, as a people here, have been trying to figure out how to reconnect and reestablish those connections and without disruption from external enemies. So it's good that we're back in that place. You know what I mean? And hopefully, as history tends to teach us that we can, kind of take a step back, but then we take 2 steps forward. And I'm gonna tell you the whole Afro beats thing. The funny thing is my daughter was working out in the gym in Equinox. Which is, is not a lot of people that look like us, but she was like, I'm so irritated because they playing Afro beats here.
She is Sagittarius too. We don't
yes, she is. Listen,
she's like, why are they doing it?
I'm so surrounded by Sagittarius. It's not even funny, but she's so irritated because she's like, I mean, damn, can't we just
have it?
Oh shit. And I'm like, I mean, Sky, it's great music, so you can't deny. She was like, no, Mom, because if they was playing hip hop, you would be saying the same thing. I was like, you right.
Yes. Ladies, thank you both so much. This has been a great conversation. We can just go on because from this conversation with Nigeria taking this stance and putting this policy in place, it leads to so many more things, like us talking about the Afro beats, because the eyes are more on Africa and Nigeria in particular because of the Afro beats and the sounds and the dress. Because we ain't gonna even talk about the fashion is second to none. Okay, they killed the game. So we can go on and talk about this forever and ever and hours and hours and all. But I want to thank you so much, both of you, for being on. Again, you can go to MaisieDunbar.com, SharondaIrving.com. If you need to get your life together in any way with your nails, your fashion, consulting, your bras, you need some coaching. You need to reach out to Sharonda Irving, Maisie Dunbar. Sharonda is creating a class online. Maisie is, you said that you teach, Maisie teaches around.
I do have a coaching program as well.
So virtual, you can go to both their websites and learn more.
I'm going to Maisie's website after this, honey.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. And then Sharonda,
I was saying the same thing. I'm going to your website after this.
Exactly. Glow t-shirt ASAP.
Okay, right. And Sharonda Irving got t-shirt. What's the t-shirt you got? WTF fashion.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to get.
I saw that in the background. But Aisha, I'm getting some t-shirts made in Nigeria. When I get them, I'm gonna send it to you because the front of it has like a light bulb, so it's light camera Bluffer Joe, and then the back of it says, I'm not a Hopo Joe. I'm just a Bluffer Joe. Hopo Joe is a person that's a whore. So we have a lipstick called Hopo Joe. So the back of it said, I'm not a Hopo Joe. I'm just a Bluffer Joe. Okay. So I gotta get you one of those. As soon as I get them from Nigeria, I gotta get you one. I'm gonna be in New Jersey this weekend.
Sharonda, Saturday. Y'all need to hook up. Y'all in DC.
Yeah. You're in DC.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yes.
This is what's important. That I know dope people. That my dope people connect with my other dope people.
Absolutely.
We collaborate, make it happen, and make it more and more and more and more and more expansion. Yes, y'all right next to each other. Y'all can polish each other's nail, do each other makeup,
and have a conversation.
Yes,
absolutely. I like the 2023 word expansion.
The expansion. That's right. Yes. More and more and more. What we're looking for. We are deserving of it. So thank both of you ladies for being on. Thank you everyone for watching live and those who will watch later on. I want to give a shout out to Katanya Lester of Lester PR, who is the consultant for the show. She always try to get my life right with my lighting. Katanya, actually, I'm gonna give it up for her. She went to bed before midnight. At least we hung up before 11:30 before midnight last night. Katanya's up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning doing something for everybody and herself. So Katanya, thank you so much for being able to work with me this morning. My producer, Celeste, she's not available right now. So Katanya was like, Aisha, I'll be there. So she'll be filling in. And when she ain't filling in, I'll be doing it too. But thank you all for checking out. I know dope people because I know dope people. Please share, subscribe.
Let me take a picture of this.
Yes, and if you're interested in booking Queen Aishah, you can email queenaishah@gmail.com for bookings for comedy shows, speaking engagements. You get our good side. And also don't forget you can pick up the book, Dating After Marriage Chronicles. And that brings me next week. And you can order online. Thank you, Katanya. Next week, our show is going to be about dating after marriage. For you all that don't know, I was married over 24 years. 23 years, over 20 years. And I'm going to have personal friends of mine, because I know those people. They'll be talking about dating after marriage. Some have remarried, some thinking about remarrying. Some people change their mind. We're going to be on next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern time talking about that. So please join in, share with your friends. Peace and power. Remember, we are touching and healing souls through the art of laughter and community. Love you. Ladies, appreciate y'all. MaisieDunbar.com, SharondaIrving.com.
Yes.
Get your assistance, get your bra, get your life, right? Get your nails done, because mine look very disrespectful for my friend. I got to know a lot of women that do nails, and they have a great day. Peace and power.